Ninth Age. A battle between Daemon Legions and Sylvan Elves. King of the Hill. The Sylvan Elves are defending this field. The Daemon Legion, this hill. It's a frontline clash, and the Sylvan Elves are on this side of the table, Daemon Legions coming from the other side. Deployment starts with the Sylvan Elves. The Daemon Legion spells. The Herald is a Divination Adept. The
Scourge of Wrath.
And the Akaan guy is an Adept at Witchcraft.
And these guys have bounce spell.
And the bounce spell for the Imps. The Sylvan Elf spells, the Druid has Cosmology. The Dryad Matriarch, Divination. And the Druidism Matriarch. Let's talk politics. The Sylvan Elves have deployed. They are ideologically determined on forest themes in this conflict. And there's no dispute that the forest is not objectionable to these Sylvan Elves. They object rather to the demonic intrusion. Forest rangers on the flank will try to hold back that intrusion with a forest guarding that flank as well, an impassable terrain feature. Some fallen giant. Archers, thicket beasts, Dreists, Spare Elves, the Avatar of Nature and more wild huntsmen, and then the Kestrel Knights beside an eagle.
We have 2 units of Succubi, maybe it's called, and the Akaan and the Brazen Beast together with a Herald. And then we have some flies and imps, the almighty Scourge and the blazing glory behind the trees. And then we have the large block of Succubi, and lastly the Fiends planning to flank the Sylvans.
They're very fast, right?
Yes.
But they're not above revealing their plans beforehand.
No, they are a bit, what do you call it? It's pride feeds. They don't care if you know their plans.
Oh. The Sylvan Elves start their turn 1 simply by rearranging a bit, moving forwards on the flanks and on the center to get within shooting and magic range. They shoot down 7 or so imps, the only ranged weapon of the demons, and 3 or 4 succubi with archers, while the imps went down from magic, having a 3+ Aegis towards arrows, but only 5+ towards magic. Now we'll see the very aggressive demon army, no armor at all, advance. Or maybe not. Mo of Akaan. He was a bit too bold, I think the player just said. Indeed he was. Now he's not bold anymore. Or is he? Oh, he's quite bold. He's quite bold. Thinking about the forest rangers. But these are powerful demon characters. Does he fly? He does not fly. He has flies.
Yes.
Beautiful flies. Brazen beasts holding the hill that's the king hill for the Sylvans to capture. The clawed fiends and the Succubi on this flank fail their charges against the Kestrel Knights, which flee. Now it's Magic Face. Twisted Effigy, anyone? Twisted Effigy much?
Gonna hold that a bit. We start with Deceptive Glamour on Rangers. And we use the boosted version.
Deceptive Glamour. I'll let that pass. The Maw of Akaan is protected by 2 defensive spells. Know Thine Enemy on the Akaan and Deceptive Glamour on the Forest Rangers. Those are the 2 spells which go through. Back to Sylvan Elves turn 2. Sylvan Elves move back their whole army. Now the Forest Rangers are turning the other way, as are the Dryads, in a defensive maneuver unexpected, admittedly, by the Daemon Legion player. The Eagle is chaffing. It seems to be charged now in turn 2 by Daemon Legions. Altered Sight and Stars Align to pick off a few wounds of the Brazen Beasts and the Maw of Akaan. Now, charge from demons. The Eagle tries to stay, but it's a fair test. Oh. Succubi charge.
Flies charge 2.
And Flies charge. Charges all over the field there. The Brazen Beasts are actually charging the archers. They lose 3 wounds to stand and shoot and need 2 6s to reach them. But this beast of a demon also charges the Dryads, needing a 12.
We take a charge on the Eagle here too.
The Eagle has a terror test coming. And it fails its terror test. The Maw of Akaan charges the Eagle, making it flee in terror. Bad chaff. These Succubi run down the Eagle. The redirect from the Maw goes into the archers and it reaches them, as does the 2 6s from the Brazen Beasts. They have a challenge with finding space in front of the archers. Who will get the charge here? The Brazen Beasts? Get the charge. The Maw of Akaan eats 1 unit of archers, which flees off the table, flanking another one. Now, the Wild Huntsmen here are frenzied into charging the Succubi. The Maw of Akaan is the unit of the game, most valuable unit so far, first half round, or the first half of the game. It killed the archers by pursuing them down. In their 3rd round, the Sylvan Elves retreated yet further. But killed a lot of Succubi here, with Kestrels lining up behind. 8 wounds on the Brazen Beasts from magic. Master of Earth and Ice and Fire, which misfired, which was miscast, so it cannot be cast anymore. Missiles are important for the Sylvans in this game, but they have 2 left. The Sylvan Elves player thought the Maw of Akaan looked so dangerous that it might be unbeatable. Then the Dreist did 9 wounds to it. It lost combat and stands with 3 wounds left. The rest of the battlefield is still a small ways away from combat, except for the Wild Huntsman being whittled down by the clawed Fiends. Now turn 4 for Sylvan Elves. The Kestrels charge. Who would have known? The way to beat demons is to win combat resolution against them. The Succubi crumble, and the Wild Huntsman unit is gone. Clawed Fiends stand and are unable to reform against the Kestrel Knights. Here, the Maw of Akaan died against Dreists with Stars Align cast on them. The Spear Elves, without spears but paired weapons, charged in its flank, but only 3 characters of Dreists and only 2 Dreid characters were needed to finish the Maw of Akaan and his last 3 wounds. Now, turn 4 for the demons, and it'll be a second round of clashes as the backed and bunched up units on both sides will have to find a way to re-engage, or do something very unusual in a 9th Age battle. Who knows? The remaining 2 Succubi in turn 4 of the Daemon Legions charge the Kestrels to get into combat again. The Scourge of Vanadra and the Blazing Glory charged into the Forest Guards. Well, the Stars Align is up. They have Guiding Light. Let's pray for them. Cunningly planned, the Sylvan Elves sent out a Fate's Judgment and rolled a 6 on the boosted version against the Brazen Beasts, killing the General and all Brazen Beasts except 1 champion with 1 wound left. That was magical. The Sylvan Elves end their turn 4, losing 4 wounds on the Tremann, mainly, in a challenge against the Scourge. The Thicket Beasts also failed a charge against the Scourge. Other than that, it's a fight for the remaining battlefield now.
Charge.
The Tremann dies against the Scourge, an impossible matchup. Splinters of wood flying everywhere. The Spear Elves flee and are caught by the Blazing Glory and the Scourge. However, in the last round, there seem to be few combat matchups left. So it's a fight for the objective, which the demons might have an advantage in, being that the Sylvan Elves cannot reach their objective, and the demons have been more aggressive on the table. The Sylvan Elves have placed their chips on the table. The Eagle is not able to chaff these clawed fiends from going into the objective. It was a wily eagle though, with 1 wound, trying to get in there. However, the forest rangers managed a double 6, charging the brazen beast left with 1 wound and catching their objective. It seems there might be a draw on the objectives on the table unless these Succubi manage to charge and kill all the forest rangers. And whether it's worth it or not, only a demon general can decide. No, the demon general is dead, so he cannot decide. Someone else will have to take charge here.
Yes, and since it's only a Scourge of Vanadra left, the only choice is to charge.
Well, that was the last round. This is how it looks. The objectives are even. A unit of Succubi tried charging the forest rangers, killing 10 of them, losing 8 themselves, 2 standing left there. We haven't removed the forest rangers since it's the last round. The forest rangers stood on steadfast. The 10 lost was due to spectral blades, masterfully cast by the magician, who was very focused now on his demonic intent of buying his way into victory by channeling the power of brown cheese, which we are now enjoying at the end of the battle. Sliced bread with brown Norwegian cheese on the east coast of Sweden.